Now, Dr. Flood is a simp in a way, yes and no. Even the definition is sort of kind of flawed because simp is sort of kind of vague. What I mean is the definition of a simp is a person who's trying to get someone's attention, be their relationship or sexual relationship with the other person. But it's sort of super vague how it's sort of defined, that you don't know that everybody could be a simp or just a sort of a phrase to piss off someone else. It's sort of your own interpretation, in other words. But it kind of fits the front in a way, but at the same time, not really, because you have two characters that Dr. Flood is always trying to get their attention. One is Black Hat, the other one is Sir Cecilia, or aka Miss Seat. If you don't know, in the book of the Longing Book of Dr. Flood in the Dementia's Diary, it's a book that Penguin House Mexico sort of sells in Latin America. In this book, it's basically just sort of seeing the daily life of Dr. Flug and Dementia, what they do, what they exceed, the explanation of the world, and what they do sort of the jobs or daily life, or the research of Dr. Flug, what he sees. In the end of that page, there is sort of a section, it's sort of like an essay explaining their relationship with Cecilia and Dr. Flood. And this one is sort of the point what everybody believes Dr. Flood is sort of a simp. In a way, you can, when you read it, kinda, but at the same time not. Of course, I will not break down the whole kind of essay explanation because I already did that on my playlist of all villainous content. You can find it there. Just be warned, it's not the greatest audio voice. In other words, I was still figuring out how the YouTube thing works. But other than that, I have to explain my basically emotion about that because it's sort of hard to say Dr. Floyd is a simp, yes or no. It's sort of more complicated than that. Before I continue on, my name is Rachel. I like to talk about animation, not just animation reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, or sometimes if you have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, you like how it's going, like to help my channel, put a like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing you need to do. If not, that's fine. If you do, thank you. Because of you, I'm getting close to my main goal of 2,000 subscribers. And yes, I'm getting close every single day because of people like you. People put a like, comment, and share. Thank you. Now let's start a conversation of, is Dr. Flo a simp? Maybe, I don't know. We're about to find out. Now let's get started. Now, the one thing you kind of need to understand about Dr. Flood, they do change a lot of his dialogue when you hear the English version into the Spanish version because it's sort of hard to translate everything. But even that, you could say his original version of the Spanish version that he is kind of is a simp to Black Cat or a brown noser who's sucking up to his boss because he's completely terrified of him, but at the same time completely envious of him. But to be fair, you could say just the relationship to Black Cat in a way, yes. To Cecilia, it's more complicated because in his sort of explanation behind the book of the login book of Dr. Flood and Dementia's Diary, he does explain he didn't really have kind of friends or anyone to interact back in high school till the Cecilia came in. Even that, he was sort of not really interested in Cecilia see his talent and trying to have a conversation with them, trying to have a sort of a connection. And this is the thing, he kind of was sort of surprised, in other words. This is the reason why he needed to talk to her even more. In fact, ironically, they've become really good friends, but something weird happened that she coming back to his home, her home room in school, he runs to her to see what's up, and nothing happens. She says, never mind, I'm over it, walk away. And he does this several times. And I think this is a point like a lot of people say, yeah, he's a simp with Cecilia. In a way, not really, because Cecilia is sort of kind of complicated character we're actually to understand, because we don't know what is the motives, why she's sort of off, why she's sort of acting a specific way to Dr. Flood. And that's sort of the interesting part about Dr. Flood and Cecilia, because Cecilia is sort of known understanding her emotion, realize what is a relationship, what is friendship, what is love. And that is just completely fascinating because you don't really can say Dr. Flood is a simp because he wants to help her friend. She sees her friend struggling about something, and he always comes to her to understand what's going on, why you keep calling me at night to go in your room. And let's face it, it's not for a sexual favor, it's just sort of kind of weird constantly doing the same thing again and again. She's crying and stop crying when you see him, and he's just sort of confused. Even that he's only doing this is because she's the only one who cares about him. She's the only one who actually talks to him, and yet people keep saying he's a simp. In a way, you could see why, but I said at the very beginning, the definition itself is just sort of kind of vague, because you could say anyone is a simp because, oh, he want to be good friends with his buddy, or is a girl who maybe want a sexual favor, but yet not really. Just a very nice guy. And that's sort of interesting because, let's face it, a simp can also fall to a very nice guy. That nice guy who wants rewards, but even that's not being nice. And nice people don't care about rewards. They just want to hang out and leave afterwards. And that's sort of the difficult thing to put on Dr. Flood. You could say he's not really a simp with Cecilia because he just want to protect the relationship, want to know what's wrong, why you keep calling it. But you compare to Bestie Black Hat, that's sort of a completely different story. Because Black Hat is just sort of a demonic force that you can't really basically ask anything or define or push away, because when he's here around you, if you're looking for a job or he needs you for a job, you cannot say no. So what's the best option? To be a suck up, to be his good graces, because you don't want him to hurt you. And that's what I mean. I keep thinking about this definition of a simp, that Dr. Flood fit on it in a way. No, I keep thinking about it. I still completely disagree. When even this book came out, that people keep saying he's a simp. Not really. Like, you understand these two Pacific both characters, Cecilia and Black Hat. You can see why he had to react a certain way around them to control the scenario, to understand what is my best approach of that sort of situation. Because let's face it, you cannot say anything or offensive or new or anything that piss off Black Hat. That's why he always sucking up. This is the reason why in Spanish that he always saying, oh yes, you big cheese, oh yeah, you're big kahuna, oh yeah, you're the greatest one ever. Of course you're great, of course. Like, he says that in a sort of way that's sort of cute, but also sucking up to a Black Hat in Spanish. And English translation, they sort of dropped that a little bit because it sort of sound kind of weird, over the top, too flamboyant. In other words, to a point that could be stereotyping a gay person, that could be really, really offensive. That I understand why they decided to kind of lower down the notch of his sucking up to Black Hat. But even that said, you could still say he's a simp. Yes and no. In fact, tell me your opinion. After I explained this, both characters with Dr. Flood's relationship with them, do you believe he's still a simp? Because the definition is super vague, because, hey, I could be a simp, but the clerk in my gas station be saying hi. Like, that's all it takes. Like, that's a simp? No. That's just being kind of kind and saying hello to a stranger who is working, and that's it. I mean, you can't add anything new to it. But ironically, the only time someone or the fandom called Dr. Flood is simp is doing this book, specifically with Cecilia, not Black Hat. I wonder why. Maybe because usually a simp is a guy less than a girl. Yes, there are girl simps that you can easily tag it because it's sort of the word non-gender word. But the only time people say he's a simp is with Cecilia, not with Black Hat. And I found that sort of kind of weird because he is a simp from Black Hat. Even that I did explain this sort of the relationship, how it really is, you understand why he does this, why he does specifically to Black Hat and also Cecilia. But only happens when Messi is around. I wonder, because that sort of vibe Messi gives out to become the queen of all simps. It sort of makes sense that why people automatically think about that. Maybe because of that only reason. Even that the Black Hat does sort of the same thing, but he does it with fear, not with love. In other words, yeah, you can see why people does think about that. Maybe that's sort of the reason, but I don't know. It depends on your own opinion, in other words. Ironically, people stopped calling Dr. Flood a simp after for a little while. I don't know why, maybe because the fandom sort of slowed down a little bit. I'm wondering that someone will actually come back calling him a simp, even realize that definition is just sort of kind of not really accurate in a way. To me, simp is more a word to piss off someone else, and really that's it, because it's not really fully defined or exact details how much a simp could be a simp and how much a relationship could be just a relationship. Honestly, I don't know. It depends on your specific opinion, but at the same time, Dr. Flood doesn't really suck up to anyone else that often. You've seen the show, the books, or any content of Pacific Villainous, everything is just sort of normal. He never does this ever again. Only if with Black Cat, because let's face it, it's Black Cat. And also being well known, every single product from Villainous is sort of canon. The book, it is canon. The game is sort of canon for whatever leaky or lore they put into. So yes. So whatever you find, what you think, tell me down below. Do you still think Dr. Flood is a simp, or people sort of overreacting, or feel this is just the right vibe? Because let's face it, the simp is almost like a vibe. It's sort of something that you kind of see. If you read the book, or at least hear about the book, because let's face it, it's not translated, that you can make your own decision. You can kind of read it as a simp sort of kind of vibe in a way, but it goes so much in detail that you're just wondering why. Yeah, I think that's something that sort of I want to sort of answer in a way. To me, never, but at the same time, it sort of depends on majority of the people, majority of the fans who read that specific dialogue, who hear that specific dialogue that I did translate on my own video like a long time ago. But it depends on you how you felt about that. But other than that, that's all I can really say. I don't know you, how you felt about this, how you think about Dr. Philip being a simp, or just feel just an add-on word because it's sort of a vibe, but it never really fully committed. I don't know you. Tell me down below. Let me know. I got nothing else to say. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.